Hello there, YouTubers, TikTokers, subscribers, non-subscribers, and all of you who are watching this video. Welcome to my channel. I'm your host, RoseRed17, and this video is about Fairy Tail 100 Year Quest, Volume 16, Chapters 136 to 144. Now, for what I remember from the last chapter in the last volume, is that Duke suddenly attacked Athena and now sees her as a worthless device no longer in his need. And it's all because she developed emotions. So what happens next? After Athena is suddenly damaged, Natsu took upon himself to attack Duke, but then it blocked by God Serena. Then he attacked Natsu and the crew with elemental magic. But Natsu managed to break free from the water/fire and go in to attack Duke once again. But then he and the others get teleported away, including Athena. As it turns out that the person who teleported them was Elfsuria, as he also teleported Urza, Jalal, and Minerva as well. We also get this familiar scene again, but this time it's with Yukino and Sting instead of Natsu and Lucy. Elfsuria tells the story about him and his pupil Duke, who formed a guild together, but then Duke abandoned the path of magic to avoid witch hunt and became an alchemist. Elfsuria visited him at one point and asked him to build a weapon to destroy the dragon gods, and that was when Athena was born. We learn more about Athena's backstory, as not only that she's a weapon of destruction to eliminate the dragon gods, but she is also a magical life form. Elfsuria was amazed by her overwhelming power and saw her destroy a dragon. Athena deemed to be too powerful, as she ends up destroying the entire village along with the dragon she's supposed to eliminate. So Elfsuria went back to his assistant only to find out that he has passed away, which does confuse Urza and the others, as if the Duke they saw seemed to be a ghost. So since Athena's power is too strong, as she can be unpredictable, she was sealed away inside a magical barrier until the time was right to let her out again. But Athena managed to destroy the magical barrier herself and enter the outside world, where she starts searching for feelings. She said she couldn't return to Elfsuria since he was the one who sealed her away, and the person that created her had died. But then, Elfsuria noticed her smile, which convinced him that she does have feelings. She also gave the origin story about the white magical cult Rebellious came to be, as people were just amazed by her overwhelming power. Then Duke ends up finding her and using her as a weapon, as she did not care about that, as he told her that he can help her find what she's looking for. Now, besides Duke being a fake, we also get the information about the gold dragon, Virinus. The gold dragon turned out to be an illusion created by alchemy, and that the dragon is the Gold Owl Guild itself. The dragon once had a body of its own, but now it's living as a concept. They're now all wondering how they're gonna beat something like that. But of course, Natsu comes back and he tells them he's gonna destroy the guild. And of course, all of them look down on him. But then Athena said there is a possibility. Lucy gave everybody the rundown, as Athena suggests that Virinus' soul has been enchanted into the guild. It is also stated that Virinus used her power to terminate the other dragon gods. Athena said that there is a way to defeat Virinus, but she is not sure what to do now, and so Lucy and others advise her to choose her own path. So she decided to pursue her original goal to defeat Virinus. Her plan was to use a separation enchantment to separate his soul from the guild itself, and then use a philosopher's stone to give him a mortal body. They can use Wendy to do the separation enchantment, but the problem is Duke took away her magic and also gained the information for the stone is not easy either. So Natsu's group is going after Duke to restore Wendy's power, while Sting's group is going after the alchemist guild to find someone who will create the philosopher's stone. But the first guild they went to, the people laughed at them and they mentioned that every alchemist wants to make the stone, but couldn't. Even Duke, who is the greatest in the continent, couldn't even do that. Sting, Yukino, and Minerva were on their way out, but then the guys noticed how hot the girls were and thought they would have some fun with them. But Minerva thought, no way, you guys are dead, as she destroyed their guild. So they kept on trying other guilds until they find the one that will create the stone. Meanwhile, Natsu and his group made it to the Gold Owl Guild, as Happy and Carla are looking after Wendy. Natsu and the others bust through the guild only to see their fellow guildmates. They seem confused at first, but then Jalal warned them that it's all an illusion. Natsu and the others quickly realize those fake faces and just goes ahead and beats the crap out of them. But then the fakes started to fight back, and then the group split up into different areas, as Urza ends up facing the sister, and they announce that they're in their purgatory. story. Gray and Lucy end up facing these two. Jalal is facing God Serena, and Natsu sees Master Duke, who has imprisoned Wendy. And instead of fighting Duke, Natsu is going to end up fighting Athena 2, which is another machine that was created by Duke, with Wendy's Sky Dragon magic and Rogue's Shadow Dragon magic. Duke ordered Athena 2 to steal Natsu's Fire Dragon magic, but our Flame Brain hero is all fired up. Natsu activates his Lightning Fire Dragon mode and goes all out on Athena 2, giving her serious damages. But then she ends up fixing herself back up due to Wendy's healing magic, so Natsu decided to keep breaking her down until she can no longer heal herself. Meanwhile, Lucy and Gray are dealing with these two until this guy comes back. He plans on swapping bodies with the people they hate. Gray warns Lucy that it's a trap and they should think about someone strong that they do hate. Gray ends up swapping bodies with Natsu since they are rivals, as the same happens to Natsu. Gray admits that Natsu is strong, but their magic is incompatible, therefore he can't use that much magic. While Lucy is thinking of someone who is a rival towards her, but also strong, as one person came to mind, and that is Brandish. Now when I saw this, I was thinking in my head, oh my god, these guys are dead. And that I had the same reaction as Gray over here. While within a town in the eastern Galtina, we see Brandish being approached by two journalists who is looking for a model for their monthly wizard magazine. Brandish thinks it's a pain, but she needs the travel funds, so she agrees to it. One of the journalists noticed that she is wearing a bikini type clothing and asks if she would wear whatever they ask. She doesn't look too happy about it, but then Sai's ability took effect and she turns into Lucy. Not sure why she turned into her, but then she said it would be fun to take advantage of her. Wow, the woman doesn't want to wear skimpy clothing even though she's half naked most of the time. But once she turns into Lucy, she's gonna go all out. Back with Lucy and Gray, they try to figure out how to use the other person's magic, but at first it seemed a little bit too difficult for them. But they do eventually figure it out as Lucy uses Brandish's magic to turn herself into a giant by accident apparently, and smash the three unconscious. While Natsu was having the same issue for bringing in Gray's body, but he figures that he needs to fight as Gray and gives Athena 2 an ice punch, and then he changed back to normal. Gray and Lucy has also changed back, but to their surprise, Lucy didn't change back into her normal clothes, but instead she gets this. Wow! Yeah, you could take a wild guess how that happened. Team Sabretooth is trying to get information about the Philosopher's Stone, but they're not getting any due to the fact that alchemists don't trust wizards. Therefore, they do not wish to give any information about that stone. But then this guy came around and decided to give him advice about a genius alchemist named Iruna. Back at the Wizard Guild Madra Dragon, as Athena seemed to have gained consciousness and asked Elfsuria if he could teleport her to the Gold Owl, but he told her not to be reckless, but she demands as she wants to take down the fake Duke who attacked her. Then Rogue came along as he wants to go with her, but Athena isn't too sure that's a good idea considering his condition, as she is willing to defeat Duke and seal away Virenus. But Rogue could get his chance of getting his powers back. Now with Lucy and Gray is still wondering what Brandish did to her body when they swapped. Gray offered her his pants, but of course she refused it because, well, who wouldn't? But then he reminds her to use her star dress and she transforms into a Virgo form. You know, thinking back, this is like the third time Lucy had to be reminded that she can use her star dress to change clothes, which I think is weird because she always remembers doing it when she's in the middle of the battle. I don't know, I find that kinda odd. Lucy wants to look for an exit, but then Gray may have noticed that they can't unless they get rid of the alchemist that created the place that they are stuck in. Now with Natsu, he is still fighting off Athena 2, as Duke realized Natsu's true strength and really wants to have it. Once he realized that Athena 2 is no match for him, Duke forced Natsu into holding back by threatening Wendy's life. You know, this reminds me of the scene when Lucy was fighting against Flare in the Grand Magic Games, where Flare was willing to kill a little girl if Lucy fights back or disobeys her orders. Now the same thing is happening here with Natsu being the one getting punched down and not fighting back. Once Natsu was on the ground, Athena too was about to take his powers until the original Athena stopped her. Oh, now I'm getting curious to see what happens in the next chapter.
2 weeks later.
Athena realized the situation that's going on and used her light beam to blind both Duke and Athena too, and then have Natsu save Wendy as he melted the sword away and gave Duke a good punch in the face. Athena will deal with her counterpart and Natsu will deal with Duke. Meanwhile, Rogue and Froge made their way into the Gold Owl Guild and found bodies on the ground, but they end up being puppets. Then we get the battle between Jalal and God Serena, and honestly the battle isn't too bad, but this is just the beginning, I believe. I get the feeling that the real battle is going to be in the next chapter. Let us just wait and see.
2 weeks later.
Honestly, I never thought we'd get a backstory of Jalal, or should I say, secret. Here we witness everything that happened before the Tower of Heavens. He watched his mother get killed, then it gets kidnapped, and then sent into prison as a slave. Here is where he meets Wally and the others, and he was about to say his name to him, but then he thought back of Secret and how he had lived if he wasn't captured, and then he changed his name to Jalal. Now we see him being affected by the Dark Dragon and how it's affecting the scenes in his heart. Jalal acknowledged that sins don't disappear, but darkness can, as his was eliminated by a Scarlet Light, who to him is Urza. He decided he's going to move forward to become a fairy tale wizard, and then he eliminated his enemies with the upgraded version of the Grand Chariot, which is known as the 9-star piece of heaven, Orion. Now, a lot of people were complaining about this fight being too short, and that he's just using a powerful version of the Grand Chariot, but I think the whole purpose of this chapter is to learn more about Jalal and the story of his sins. Now, personally, I really don't mind much about the fight, but I will agree that Jalal should have used something different than just the upgraded version of the Grand Chariot. Something that we never see him use before. Maybe I'm just asking for too much. Jalal is indeed a powerful wizard, but he does have his limits, especially when he's dealing with all the sins that he's committed from his past. And now he's finally moving on to decide to join Fairy Tail, so I'll give a victory for that one. Honestly, that's actually a great way to end the chapter, but it's also the best way to end this volume. Seeing Jalal finally accepting his sins and leaving the past behind him, Wall decided to move forward by joining Fairy Tail. Even though there are so many opportunities to end the volume, like the sudden introduction to a second Athena, but having Jalal in the last panel of the book honestly is a lot better. Not to mention there are so many other things going on. They have to deal with the Gold Dragon, they have to find a way to defeat him. So they learned something about a Philosopher's Stone, which gives him, the dragon, a physical body, and that was the task for Sabretooth, while Fairy Tail has to deal with Duke and the second Athena along with the sisters. And so we're gonna end the video here. Well then everyone, thank you for watching, and if you are new here to this channel, you can please subscribe if you like to. You can also hit that notification button for new updates on my newest videos. Don't forget to check me out on X, TikTok, and Discord, and I will see you all in the next video. RoseRed17 out.